Hello friends, welcome to the today's session. So today we are going to see how we can call an API using an integration procedure, and for that we are using a open source API that we can use inside our integration procedure, and after that we can see that how that response we can display that on the UI using Omniscript and Velocity Action. So the component that we are using for today's demo, it's Omniscript, integration procedure, data raptor, and velocity action. So let's start it. So for today's session, we are going to use newsdata.io API key. So newsdata.io, here we can able to get a news, the daily news of based on the different countries. So for that, you need to go to this news data API key. I'll provide the links in my description. So no, you don't need to uh, think about that. And after that, so what we can do, right, after we go to this side, the first thing we need to do is to generate an API key. So the API key is required for, you know, for requesting this particular newsdata.io responses. So for today's first thing you can do is to generate an API key. After that, you need to click on this documentation and you can populate to this particular page. So on today's demo, you can see there are different the request parameters we have to base take the news based on different things, based on language, domain, category. But today we are going to get the news based on the possible countries, and you can see they have a possible countries and they have some country code of a two-letter code. Based on that, they display the response of a news. So we need to provide this request country codes, and on based on that we get the responses. So for this I need to use this particular API URL. So I already keep it handy in my notepad plus plus. So you can see this is the particular API I have handy. So yeah, so what you need to do is that on this particular API you get, you just need to put your key, the key that is generated after that, in just equal in the after that API key, and after API key you can see there is a and country equal to AU and CA. So these are on based on different countries you want the responses. So for that, let's create one IP. Let me have the new API key. Let me, okay. Yeah, so I just keep that copied. I just need to have it again. I will just copy this one. I just need to copy this and put it here. Right. So yeah, so I have my URL ready. Now before you create your integrated site setting in a Salesforce, for that I already created for this. So you can see for this in the remote site setting, you just provide the name. You need to provide the URL, not the complete URL, just the initials of it. Let's say this is for the newsdata.io. You can see in the you need to put it till here. So you can use the any API for this purpose, but I'm using newsdata.io, so that's why you just need to provide this one in the remote site setting, and that's it. And after that, let's create a new integration procedure. Well, I need to save it. Let me provide a name to it. So I'll provide a name as news info and click on save. Then it allow me to drag the components on the right side. Yeah. So I already have my data raptor created. So let me show you how that will work. I'll put one data raptor extract action here. I'll provide a name to it as country. Okay, and the data raptor I've created is this one. It will just, it really does. I need to provide, okay, let me show you what it really does. So this is the data raptor extract where I'm just getting the account. This is already existing data raptor, so I just want to get this country and country code. While because you can see in the request URL I need to provide a country code. So before I go to the integration did for that. I don't have any converted country custom field, and after that in the country you can provide a different country as per your choice. So I just create one formula field called country code. So what it does, it simply gives the initials first two letter of the country name you provide and change it to the lowercase. So for this I use this formula, lower left is the first two characters of the country. So that's, and this two I have already put in my data raptor. You can see here. So let's go to the IP. I need to provide the input parameter also. So I have the context ID for that, because on the basis of context ID, let me give that exact name because it should not be anything else. Yes, and also for this I am passing the value of a context ID only. Now you can see I already provided the country. Now let me drag the HTTP action. Okay, so let me give a name to my HTTP action is Anuj, and I'm trying to get it. So the method I also need to provide is get here. Let me have a response action, and the response action I need to provide this particular remote action, sorry, the HTTP action here, as we are passing that to it. Initially let's check whether it's working or not. So I just need to create one account. I don't think if that is work. Let me check if that particular existing if this is working or not. So what I can do is I just copied it, integration remote action. Let me go to preview. I need to provide the key value here, so context ID is the key, and I need to provide the ID I just copied. Let's check whether it's working or not. Well, it's working. So you can see we are getting some kind of response here. It's a complete response from the different news channels or the different news sources. Let's say it's working for Australia and whatever the country we just provide. So let me make it in a quite good way now. So let's have one set values. Yeah, let's have one set values. I just provide a name of a set value is